Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, March the 19th, 2025 for Beyond the Gates, BTG. Well, not too much happened today, everybody. We get crazy Leslie talking to Eva blaming Ted. She just know Ted is the one that got her kicked out of the club off that job at Nicole's event. And Leslie's looking, she goes, "How would you know it was Ted?" Because look, it was Eva. So Eva said, "How did you know it was Ted?" To her mother, Leslie, Dana, Sherry, whatever her name is. And so she goes, "Because that's what he would do. That's the kind of person he is." And he was just looking like, that's what I did. You just don't know, right? So anyway, she comes up with the bright idea that, oh, you're right, though. That was Nicole's event. This needs to be something all about Ted. And we got to come up with another event. And so she goes, "There are no other events on their calendar, Mom." She goes, She says, "Ted and Nicole have an anniversary coming up in a week or two." And Eva looked at her and said, "How on earth would you know that?" She said, "Because Ted and I were supposed to be having dinner, and he bailed on me to have dinner with Nicole because it was their anniversary." I think it said their 1 year anniversary or something like that. And I thought, okay, they're giving us a timeline. Now we know. Well, no, she does not have to have had Martin within their first year of marriage. Hmm. So Eva and Martin could quite possibly be the same age, but what they're trying to do is make Eva younger, right? Just a little older than Kat. Hmm. They kind of got the little age thing messed up for Martin and Smitty to have teenage kids. To me, their kids are too old. Their kids are too old for the ages that they should be. Yeah, no. But anyway, because look, Eva ain't nowhere near close to 40. But we have Martin and Smitty. The kids are 16. They didn't get those kids when they were 15. They were in their 20s, late 20s probably. So yeah, those ages aren't working. They're just not working. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, she says, "So you talk them into having an anniversary party." And so Eva says, "How on earth can I talk them into that? I'm just the assistant, Mom, and I'm Nicole's assistant. How am I going to talk them into having an anniversary social event?" And she goes, "Baby girl, you could do wonders. You could do anything." So then we see Ted and Nicole at their place, you know, holding hands and lovey dovey and blah, blah, blah. And they talk about the anniversary's coming up. And he goes, "Let's go on a trip. She goes, "Where do you want to go?" And then he says something stupid about going. One of his bucket list things was going from city to city to all the major stadiums and sitting at a game or whatever. And I thought, well, that's a doggone lie because that ain't even. So she said that you want to do that on our anniversary. That's not romantic at all. And he was going on and on. And she goes, "Ted Hamilton. I mean, Ted, is he Hamilton? No, it's Bill Hamilton Richardson. Ted Richardson, you something else. You joking." And he was just laughing. And Nicole comes in. I mean, Eva comes in with Kat's dress she wore. And Nicole says, "Eva, what are you doing back here so late?" She says, "I got Kat's dress out of the cleaners and I wanted to get it back in her closet as soon as possible. I didn't just walk in. Andre was leaving as I was coming in. That's how I got." She goes, "Oh, I'm not worried about that." So anyway, she goes, "Oh, I hear what's this about your anniversary coming up?" And then Nicole said, "Yeah, he was talking about the stadium BS." And so she laughed and she goes, he goes, "But I'm trying to talk her into going on a trip." And so she goes, yeah, but you know what, Ted? I can't clear my schedule for a whole trip. Plus it's too close. It's too soon. You know, I wouldn't be able to make arrangements in time. So she goes, so Leslie says, yeah, you may not be able to go on a huge trip. She says, but you could have a small anniversary party. And Nicole says, hmm. And Bill says, I like that idea. She goes, because when somebody's been married as long as you two, that should be celebrated. And Nicole says, hmm. And so she goes, Ted says, yep, I want to do it. And so Eva says, I'd be happy to help. And so Nicole said, you know what? You two could plan it because I won't have the time. You two could plan it. I'm all for it. So Ted looks at Eva and Eva looks at him and he's like, yeah, mm-hmm. So she comes back home and Leslie says, well, did you do it? And she says, yes, we're going to have an anniversary party. Oh, I knew you could do it, old Leslie's. I knew you could do it. And you're going to do all the planning, and I'm going to bring all the fireworks. Ooh. And Eva's just looking at her mother. She's like, yeah, we're a team. So now we're going to see how Eva's going to try to work her back end on that, because she's not ready to get blown out the water. Because Leslie's purpose is to blow her out the water, not connect her with her father. She just wants to ruin Ted's life. And Eva wants to have a place in his life. So, that's going to be that struggle, tug of war. Okay. Now, Andre finds Danny on the floor. Okay. And he gets her up and he gets her on the couch, gets a wrap around her, and she's like, "Oh no, I was just celebrating because of the deal that I did for Chelsea, and just a little. That was all." And he goes, Danny, this is not the first time that you've had a lot to drink and you've passed out. She goes, no, I mean, no, he goes, I'm just gonna tell you from experience. He goes, and drinking that amount of vodka, you could have done serious damage to yourself. You could have hit your head when you passed out, you know? And he goes, promise me. Do you need to speak to somebody? He goes, no, no, I'm fine. And then she put that smile on her face. I'm fine. I told you. I was just celebrating. It is not a habit, and come on now. I just, I'm good. And so he goes, do you need another blanket? She goes, nothing arms can't cure. So he puts his arm around her and he's talking. He said something to her. She's leaning against him. And he goes, I could put some relaxing music on. She goes, and when I fall asleep, you'll be gone. He goes, probably, but I'll be here till you fall good and asleep. So she puts her head in his lap and, I guess she falls asleep and he shows up at Nicole's house. This is before Eva got there. And he was just telling Nicole, they goes, you know what? I ran into your sister, Danny. He didn't say where, right? And she's really lonely, Aunt Nicole. And you're her sister. You're her only sister. She goes, Danny is lonely? Danny seemed fine at breakfast. Matter of fact, and Danny did a great job emceeing my event. Danny's on the top of the world. She goes, no, I think it seems that way. He goes, and take it from me, after devastating loss, he goes, I let people think I was okay for a long time. He says, and I wasn't. What I really was very lonely. I felt alone and isolated. And so Nicole looked at him. She goes, thank you for telling me that. I have to check on her. And I'm thinking, Chick, you're the psychologist. You didn't know that case study? You don't need him to tell you that. You should have known that your sister's masking. Come on now. So anyway, that ends there. And then Danny wakes up and she's alone. He's gone. And she sits up and she takes a sip of the cup of water. And then she looks over at the kitchen counter and she sees the bottle of vodka because that he had sat up there. So she gets up. I thought she was going to drink it, but she takes it to the kitchen sink and she just pours it all out, right? She pours it all out. And I'm thinking, okay, tomorrow Bill's going to do something to make her get another one and chug a lug it. Every time she tries to think, okay, I'm going to do better, she lets a derailment, something happen to derail that. And she goes back with her impulses. Well, I was sick and tired of hearing Haley pout and rant and no, this whole thing. I thought, people still respect you. Anywhere you go, you're the great Bill Hamilton walks in the door. And I thought that, I naively thought that that level of respect would automatically transfer over to me, and it doesn't. And I'm thinking, chick, you ain't deserved the level of respect. Come on now. So, like I said, and he's just talking to her, saying, you're going to let one little experience now make you want to give up and quit. This is not the woman that I know that's fierce. And I'm thinking, see, Bill's going to be tired of babying her, constantly reassuring her. Okay. But he's doing it for right now. They only been married a day. He could not nowhere near let that marriage end because of the egg on his face from everybody would be fierce. You mean you dumped your beautiful wife, Danny, for this young girl? Yeah, she's beautiful too, but this young girl who don't even know herself. Look at what happened. So he can't let that happen. Well, oh, Haley goes out. I don't know. We got to rethink this or whatever. I got to think. So then she comes down later. Did I hear the doorbell ring? And Bill has this romantic table set up, and he had ordered this expensive Italian food from an Italian restaurant. He goes, you were right. Uh, we need to have more alone time spent together. So we are back in Italy. And he goes, I have prepared. He didn't prepare nothing. He had it delivered. And he named the name of the dish. And she's like, oh, he goes, I want you to sit down. And he pours her some wine. And I'll be right back with the food. So then when they come back, show them again. They had just finished eating. And she goes, oh, Bill Hamilton. Woo, this was great. And then the music he played was some music from some really nice concert he took her to, and she remembered it. Oh, Bill, Bill. Yeah. So she goes, but we haven't discussed our true issues. And he's like, Haley, we don't have true issues. We've weathered the true issues. Us being together all the way up to the marriage, we handled the true issues and the backlash. We even got married through true issues. Haley, we don't have any true issues. Yes, they do. People that see respect, the people don't respect me. Well, heck, chick, you don't respect yourself. Really, that's what it is. You are looking for him to validate you because you know you did wrong and you haven't earned validation yourself. You haven't earned it on your own. So he says, look, I got a gift for you. She goes, what? And he puts it on the table. And she opens it up in these beautiful diamond earrings. And she goes, when did you have a chance to get these? He goes, I have my way. He goes, when we went to blah, blah, blah. She goes, yeah, and you were gone, but you said the line was really, really long. And he goes, I got these. My internet interrupted, y'all. I hope that's not a big gap in the recording of this video because my internet just went out and then it came back. So anyway, she goes, I love him. And you know what, Bill? And they go to the couch. I love you. She starts kissing. You were right. I need to fight for our relationship. I do. Okay, you just wanted him to beg you and plead, and that's going to get very old. Very, very old. And nobody cares. Nobody at all. Now, last but not least, Derek made this big firehouse lasagna for Ashley. And as they're getting ready to eat, he gets called to the station. There's a fire or whatever. He's got to go to the station, go to work. Now, I kind of thought firemen are on what 14 days and off 14 days, but I guess when he got hurt, that was on 14 days. But you know what? He would still have to recuperate. And Ashley says, wait, Derek, you just got out of the hospital today. How are you going to? He goes, I gotta go, babe. I gotta go, gotta run, gotta get to work. And she looks, so she looks over at this credenza and she opens it up. And of course, it's the collage that Andre gave her, right? And I'm like, okay, here we go. So she picks up the phone and she's like, can you come over? And I'm thinking it better not be Andre. But we already knew he was with Danny, then Nicole. Her mother comes over, everybody, and talk about did not give her good advice. Because she even told her, because she goes, oh, what's this? And she goes, Andre gave this to me to remember the day that, to commemorate my first week of work and delivering the baby. And she goes, oh, he's so nice and blah, blah, blah. And so Ashley's looking funny. And her mother says, what's that look about? And then she tells him about Andre trying to kiss her. And her mother says, but did it happen? And she said, no, but he was going to kiss me. And her mother says, look, you're reading too much into it. It didn't happen. He didn't cross the line. I don't see the harm in you two just being friends. I saw the harm in it when Andre was disrespecting Derek in front of Ashley and her acting like she was clueless every time that he ran into them. But her mother is like, I didn't see the harm in it. What did Derek say? She goes, well, I didn't tell him. She goes, yeah, you know what? But there's no need. And I said, oh, okay, this that kind of mama. That kind of mama, right? Wow. So anyway, we could already tell. So then the mother's gonna go wash the dishes because she and Ashley ate the lasagna, and she's looking over at Ashley at the in the little living area, and she sees Ashley just looking at the little collage thing, kind of logging, looking, and the mother's thinking like, "Ooh, she's kind of interested in him." See that? No, no, messy, messy mother. Okay. But anyway, everybody, that is it. Nothing else happened today. Let's go to comment corner, comment corner. And let me go to Beyond the Gates. Comment corner. Here we go. Comment corner, Denzel. I'm going to read a paragraph from Denzel. And let me turn on my trusty dusty just in case stopwatch. Denzel says, Kat is definitely letting Eva getting into her and including when she saw Eva and you must be getting under her skin. And when she saw Eva and Tomas talking, like Kat can't be jealous of Eva because she's talking to Tomas. Tomas is single and Kat is playing these mind games. I don't blame Tomas if Tomas and Eva hit the bed sheets together before Kat and Tomas does. Eva's definitely gonna take the gloves off. Now wait off now. So if I'm Kat, I watch my back. I'm just saying. Not surprised that Kat was upset when she saw um her phone and Eva was wearing her dress. It wasn't saw her phone. She saw the pictures they were passing around the table. And Eva was wearing her dress like Eva stole the dress. Nicole told her to go to Kat's room and let her wear the dress. Just saying. And Nicole told Kat that too. That no, I told her to go up in your closet and get something to wear. And then says Chelsea at this point just needs to be honest and tell her mother Danny that she's not into modeling anymore and wants to do her own thing. I know it might hurt Danny, and all, but Chelsea still needs to be honest with her mom, just saying. Seeing Danny putting that fake smile on when she was sitting with her families, with the Dupree family table eating, Nicole knew that Danny wasn't right. But Anita and Vernon just thinking that Danny was happy, but she wasn't. Yet Nicole should have been able to read the signs and see through that. She really should. But they look, that's why doctors of any kind are supposed to treat their own family. That's why. When she was at the house drinking, she was definitely wasn't happy at all, staring and crying because she knew deep down, crying. She knew deep down that she was hurt with what Bill did to her and definitely needs to talk to her sister. Nicole just saying, great review, Daily Recap Lady. Then Karen says it was funny how they treated Haley like she was invisible, but you're right. They pay dues and they should be served. I knew Kat was going to go over, have a fit over Eva wearing her dress. She gets on my nerves. I hope Eva doesn't try to steal Tomas from Kat to give her more reason to distrust her. Worried about Danny's drinking, it never leads to anything good. You can't drink vodka like water and function. I know that is so true. That's 100% true. And then we have Wendy says, Haley got the man under dirty circumstances, PPL, will forget in time. People will forget in time, but no time soon. And then Just K says Naomi should take the lady's case since no one else will. My question is, did Haley go in a date with Sleazy Mike to get the promotion? That's going to be interesting if they go that route. Because Bill, you know why I say no? With the comments Mike still was making about like, oh, I wish I could get somebody young, a young, beautiful woman like that. Yeah, I don't think she did. She went out with Mike, but I believe she knows what Mike was doing, right? And if she did have sex with Mike to get the now Bill, now we'll see, but I don't think so. Was this before or after she started seeing Bill? Bill hired her. Remember, Danny said, and to think I convinced Bill to let you work at his firm. She convinced Bill to let her do that. What could be added? What could be added to Naomi's case? I think Eva is going toe to toe with Kat. I thought Anita would have put her foot up Kat's butt the way she spoke to Eva, but Nicole has to do that. Nicole and Ted didn't do a good job raising Martin and Kat the way they talk to people. Sewing Room says, I like Eva. She's taking her job seriously and seems to want to do the right thing. Kat the brat is getting on my nerves. I like Kat the brat. Sewing Room says, Comment Corner, I have a question. Is Doug related to anyone other than being Vanessa's husband? You know what? I don't think so. I don't think so. Just Case says, no blood relative so far. Randy, who works for Joey, is his childhood friend. Yep. Sewing Room says sexual harassment. Oh Lord. Uh Naomi should not take their case. It's a conflict of interest. Yet again, she said she no longer has a father. That ain't no conflict of interest, right? Sewing Room says Danny needs to go to a rage room and or throw some axes. This soap is hot and messy. I love every minute. Lucy says alcohol is cunning, baffling, and powerful. There is help. Here's hoping Danny gets back on track and quits drinking. Black Purple Turquoise says Danny may be developing an alcoholism problem as we speak now. She is hiding it from everyone. This is the second or third time she's gotten herself so drunk that she ended up on the floor. Someone needs to get this woman to a true blue therapist and fast. No one with no more with the putting off of this. It's now going to hit critical levels of ugly and dark, and everyone doesn't wish doesn't wait if everyone doesn't wise up to the act she's putting on for their benefit, and realize what time it is. Lastly, while I appreciate Kat's spot on and instincts about Eva, she's got no proof and can't keep on going around whining and accusing her of doing something without any kind of evidence. And now she's after Tomas. Well, I'll be the one. Wait, it'll be one hot fire battle between them moving forward. That's for sure. And Just K says, I think Eva's going toe to toe with Kat. Kat deserves that the way she talks to Eva. Yeah, and you know what? Like I said, Kat may be little Miss Cat, the brat, but Eva is an alley cat. And alley cats are going to win. Unfortunately, they fight dirty. So that's it, everybody. That is it for the daily recap for Beyond the Gates.